So today we will discuss about the CBR test. So this CBR test will be completed within 3 lectures. So in our first lecture or in the first part we will discuss about the introduction of the CBR test. Okay, so CBR basically it is defined as California Bearing Ratio test, and this is a penetration test developed by the California Division of Highways as a method for evaluating the stability of soil subgrade and other flexible pavement materials. Now, the test results have been correlated with flexible pavement thickness requirement for highways and airfield. Now, the CBR test may be conducted in the laboratory or a prepared specimen in a mold or in situ in the field. Okay. Now, the CBR, if you go for the definition of the CBR, the CBR is the ratio expressed in percentage of force per unit area required to penetrate soil mass with a standard circular plunger of 50 mm diameter at the rate of 1.25 mm per minute to that required for corresponding penetration in a standard material. The ratio is usually determined for a penetration of 2.5 and 5 mm penetration. So basically there are different penetration values and we will be discussing this in the later part, and among different penetration values 2.5 mm penetration and 5 mm penetrations are considered as standard. Okay, now uh, these loads are expressed as percentage of standard load values at respective deformation levels to obtain CBR value. Now these are the standard values for the standard penetration, that is load values. Okay, so for the 2.5 mm penetration value, that standard load value is 1370 kg, and for 5 mm penetration that standard load value is 2055 kg. Okay, now there are two types of CBR test. One is soak CBR test and another is unsoaked CBR test. For the soak CBR test, it is required that we submerge the mold or that soil sample for a 4 days soaking, and after that swelling and water absorption values are noted. Now the surcharge weight is placed on top of the specimen in the mold and assembly is placed under the plunger of the loading frame. Now this is the loading frame. Now basically this is consisting of loading machine with capacity of at least 5000 kg and equipped with a movable heads or base which enables plunger of 50 mm dia to penetrate into the specimen at a rate of 1.25 mm per minute. So in the severe testing apparatus or loading machine, two dial gauges are there. One dial gauge, that is this dial gauge, is required to measure the penetration value, and another dial gauge is attached with the probing ring, and this dial gauge is required to note down the loading value, and this is the frame. Okay, and this is the base where the specimen is put, and this portion of the equipment is generally uh, it is movable. Okay, and this is provide a upward thrust. For this reason that 50 mm plunger, this is the 50 mm plunger, penetrate through the soil sample. Okay, next, there are different cylindrical mold assembly which are required for the CBR test. So standard mold, this is the standard mold, and standard mold is of 150 mm diameter and 175 mm height, provided with a collar of about 50 mm. This is the collar, and this is detachable collar. Okay, now a spacer disc of 140 mm, this is the spacer disc 148 mm and 47.7 mm thickness is used to obtain a specimen of exactly 127.3 mm height. So basically, what is the purpose of this? Initially, during the filling of this mold, that spacer disc is put in the below portion of the mold, and after putting the soil sample, that spacer disc is removed. Okay, and spacer disc is a metal disc. It is of 148 diameter and of 47.7 height. Okay, so our next portion is compaction rammer. So compaction rammer is the portion which is required for compacting the soil sample. So basically there are two types of compaction rammer. One is for the light compaction and another one is for the heavy compaction. For the light compaction, there should be 3 numbers of soil samples, and for the heavy compaction there should be 5 numbers of soil layers, and the weight of that light compaction is 2.6 kg, and for the heavy compaction it is 4.89 kg. And these are the free fall in centimeter, and number of blows required is 57, and for this one also this is 56. Okay, then surcharge weight. These are the surcharge weight which are provided on the top of the specimen whenever it is put under the CBR testing apparatus. Okay, so these weights are 2.5 kg and 147 diameter are placed on top of the specimen. So this is all about the introductory part of the CBR test. So in our next class we will be discussing about the test procedure.